Kansas City, Missouri. A very pleasant good evening to you all. Mark Allen back with you tonight with Wings Soccer here on Cake TV. Same song, different verse, as the Wings once again tonight go in search of that elusive first road victory of the season in a building where they have not had much success in recent games here, quite honestly. But Roy Turner, if the Wings are looking for some added motivation tonight, they need to look no further than the current Western Division standings, as we'll see with that overtime victory over Chicago. You're finally out of the cellar, and with a win tonight, you can jump past Kansas City into 4th place, and finishing among the top 4 come playoff time is what it's all about.
Well, the half game that separates the teams is something that has happened 2 of the last 3 years, incidentally, Mark. These two clubs have ended the regular season with just a game dividing them. And then, of course, that could be the difference between in the playoffs they're out. And that's what we're all playing for. And so I think this game has more meaning than just winning the first road game. It could have an effect on our postseason play, if there is to be any. And it also, forget the 175 miles of turnpike to separate the teams. There's a rivalry there. We all know about that. But the #1 issue is that intra-division race.
As for the Kansas City Comets, they come into the game tonight with a record of 10-14. Ironically, that was the same record they had at this point last year, and that's when they made their coaching change, bringing in Dave Clements. They finished then 18-10 after that. He was named Coach of the Year. The question, has he got another finish like that in store for this year, coaching here the entire season?
Well, I think it's going to be tough for Dave, you know. Sometimes just to change your personality can do things, but Dave is going to stay here, I believe, and he's got to turn this club around once again. And now he knows all the players, so maybe it'll be a little easier. I don't know. But one player who's going to be missing in his quest to turn it around is Kim Runford. I love him dearly, but tonight he's going to be watching this game because of a separated shoulder, and, you know, that can only add to the Wings' opportunities to not have to play against Kim.
All right, for the Wings, their 13th road game of the season tonight, hopefully lucky number 13. We'll be back with the starting lines and the opening kick right after this timeout. And welcoming you back to Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. The Wings and the Comets getting set to go in MISL action. The Wings come into this one tonight with an overall record of 10-15. You've heard too much already about the 0-12 road records, so we won't beat that dead horse too often, I hope. As for Kansas City, 10-14 overall, but of interest, 8-5 this season here at Kemper Arena, including 7 wins in their last 9 home games. So Kemper has been pretty good to them of late. Starting keepers tonight for Wichita once again tonight, Matt Kennedy. The latest on him, the league did not approve the helmet that the Wings tried to rig for Matt, so we'll see Ziggy again tonight. The record's 7-4, 4.34 his goals against. And for Kansas City, we'll see Ed Gettemier once again. He had the victory over Wichita in our last televised game out of this building. Gettemier 5-7 with a 4.47 goals against coming into this ball game tonight. As for the lines, let's take a look at Charlie Cook's 2 starting lines. And as we mentioned already, it will be Ziggy Zagante in goal, the first line, Cooley and Rowe in the back, Stankovic, I guess that is, and Thomas at midfield with Hagen the forward. And the second line, DeBrito, Fox, Juan Carlos Molina, Gene Wilrich, and Eric Rasmussen. Frank Rasmussen is not here. For the Comets, their first line, Haramina, Katsukas, and Dale Mitchell. He's hot. We'll talk more about him as the game goes along. The second line, Barry Wallace, Kia, and Jan Goosens. He and Mitchell are pretty much the 1-2 punch for KC, and they will rotate 5 defenders: Schiraldi, Frazier, Bonchek, Hundelt, and Schwab. You know, looking at those 5 defenders, Roy, without Runford, Schiraldi is about the only experience they'll have tonight at defender, and the Wings may try to exploit that.
Well, with regard to the defenders, you know, Kim gives an awful lot offensively, maybe even more than defensively, and I just don't see it in that back line of KC the way they're lining up this evening, but let's see if we can still say that in 60 minutes time.
We're underway. You saw the series record a moment ago. Meeting tonight for the 36th time, these two teams. Wings lead the overall series 19-16. KC has the advantage so far this season. They have won 2 of the 3 games, with the home team winning each time in the series so far, as the Wings dump it into the corner, and Barry Wallace corrals it for the Kansas City Comets, and he boots it just past the scoreboard, and now Kevin Cooley heads it back to Ziggy, and the Wings will reset offensively. The Comets lead overall here at Kemper Arena 12-6. The Wings have dropped their last 6 straight in this building. The reference we made in the open, the Wings have struggled in this building. So, of course, looking to break through tonight on the road, and it's never been.
Yes, they said he leaned into the defender, and the Wings better be caught right now because they're getting people sneaking in behind them early part of the game. A quick comment on Gene Woolrich that time. Gene enjoys the low-pressure game. It suits his abilities much more. Let's see if it makes a difference to his game this evening.
Gene, of course, off to a bit of a slow start. There he is, blocking the shot in front. Look out here, Katsoukas, the feed! And Haramina, the second time was the charm. And Kansas City leads it 1-0.
Well, it's always the same, I suppose. I'm learning something about broadcasting, and maybe it's keep your mouth closed about individuals. Terrible mistake by Gene Woolrich on that particular play, allowing Katsoukas to call for KC. Woolrich is the one who just played that ball to Katsoukas, plays it across the goal, and you'll see it going to the net eventually. Gettemier Haramini is the man who scored it with only, well, less than 2 minutes going in the contest. Bad defensive error on behalf of Gene Woolrich to allow that goal for Kansas City. Wings need to come back right away if possible.
Time of the goal, just 1:54 into the contest. Haramina's 10th goal of the season. Katsoukas the assist. Kansas City is on top.
Same thing. They wasn't quite ready to put it into the net. Good chance, though, for Wichita.
Here's the little man, literally. Kia, in his native country, means little man, and he is that. 5'5", 130 pounds, wears a size 6 shoe. Look out here, Goosens. Somebody got a hand on it, but the follow by Kia, the guy we were just talking about. And it's 2-0 Kansas City here in the first quarter.
Once again, we're going to see Jan Goosens. He does have a very powerful shot, and it's all the Wichita can do. So let's see if they block it. He turned Mike Fox there at the ball, winds up. I think it's Kevin Kuehl who gets his foot on it, but Kia, the man you were just talking about, is right there. He does well to keep this ball down, a bouncing ball, but he hits the volley into the top of the net, and, the Wings need to regroup.
For Kia, his 10th goal of the season, Comets lead it 2-0. Back. Pedro, the NASL Rookie of the Year back in 1982, as Gettemier latches on.
The Wings, they need not get frustrated with this low power, but let's come back.
Look out, Haramina. Oh, and it deflects off Ziggy. He got a piece of it, but not enough. And it's 3-0 Comets.
Well, the goal, first of all, I'm afraid it started from Juan Carlos. It was Haramina who snuck around the back of him. It then went off the boards and actually hit Ziggy on the back of the head. When things are going wrong, and they just keep on going wrong. And that ball bounced into the net by Ziggy, making the score 3-0 in the first period. The Wings have really dug themselves a hole, and they need to start now. Just get the composure. They can come back. If KC can score 3, we certainly can. But watch again here. Haramina winds up. He misses the goal. The ball will bounce off the back glass and hit Ziggy on the back of the head as he's protecting himself. Goes into the goal. 3-0 early on in this game.
A lot of concerned faces, including Charlie Cook, obviously, at this point. Wings trail at 3-0. 6 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. Haramina's second goal of the game already. His 11th of this season, and Katsoukas once again the assist. So those two have already teamed up for 2 goals tonight. Terry Rowe playing it ahead of Mike Stankovic. Wings need one in a hurry. Stankovic looking for Hagen, finally got it to him. Hagen trying to create something, stripped of the ball. Kia.
What? 20 feet away from the goal, so it shows you how they are packing it in front of the Wings to make it very difficult to penetrate. But if we're going to be successful, that's what we have to do. Get by the blue shirts, put the ball in the net one time at least.
Time winding down here in the first quarter. Schwab, head down, let it fly. Terry Rowe poked it out of there. And the first quarter has come to a close. Our score here at Kemper Arena in Kansas City, the Comets 3. The Wings nothing. Back with the second quarter right after this timeout. Mark Allen and Roy Turner welcoming you back to Kemper Arena in Kansas City, getting ready now for the second quarter of play. Those are your stats after the opening period. And Roy, not unusual for the Wings to outshoot their opponent. They've done that throughout the season, even on the road.
Well, I think the other one is that blocks. I don't ever give much credit to that stat. I don't think it's a worthwhile one. But on this occasion, and what's becoming more and more apparent, the Wings are not blocking shots from the opposition, and they've been unable to block three times tonight as the KC team have gone ahead. 3-0 in one quarter. That's an awful lot of goals in one quarter, and we need to be playing much better defense. So Charlie looked very concerned. There they are, though, the greatest fans in the MISL. A group of them here tonight doing their traditional balloon burst at the end of the first quarter, no matter where they are. And believe me, our road record will tell you just about how important they are to this team as they try to break the jinx on the road.
A little taste of home tonight for the Wings. Maybe it'll help. 3-0 Kansas City as we begin play here in the second quarter. KC quickly on the attack, although DeBrito steps in and breaks it up. Ziggy looking for the distribution, whistling it out to Eric Rasmussen. Eric in the last game against the Comets had the hat trick in the Wings' victory at the Kansas Coliseum. So maybe he can get it cranked up here in the second quarter. He tried the shot wide right. Schwab tried to play it out to Tony Werman, could not.
Eric's once again showing what great skill he has. He just changes direction so quickly. Chris Hundelt, a rough and tough kid from St. Louis, marking him right now. Eric called that time for obstruction. Just a note, these are the referees that we've had before. They do not treat Eric very kindly. I don't know whether they suspect that Eric calls for fouls all the time he gets the ball, but they seem to let an awful lot go when Eric has the ball. And Eric complained about it quite a lot the other night against Chicago. Let's see what happens, though.
The Wings now will try to take advantage of a rare miscue for Kansas City. Inside to Molina. He boots it back out to Mike Fox. Instead, it'll be Wilrich playing it back to DeBrito. Now Eric Rasmussen left wing. Just underway in the second quarter. Wings looking for their first goal of the contest.
Eric slipped up that time and giving Casey another break. Dale Mitchell, the man who's maybe the hottest thing out here tonight, setting up Schiraldi down the right.
Schiraldi, the veteran, the Kansas City team captain, still right in there. Almost made it happen. Did make it happen. Again, Kansas City keeping it alive. Zagante has a beef. I think he's claiming handball, but I don't know that he's going to get any support. The goal is on the board. It's 4-0 KC.
I think Ziggy is Werman. I don't know how many goals he's got for this club, but he hasn't got many. He's the third goal of the year. First time, I think he's he came from Holland by Jan Goossens, I'm sure. And Ziggy was complaining, as you think, by somebody holding him and not allowing him to go and close the ball down. Charlie now has called a timeout. Of course, great concern from everybody, the viewers, the broadcasters, and those people right there on the bench. Cook and Stankovic right now, everybody's going to be called in. Let's try and regroup and take something out of this game.
Time of the goal, 1:25 into the second quarter. Tony Werman, the goal, as we mentioned, his third on the season, and Schiraldi gets the assist. And you were exactly right about Werman, Roy. He was recommended to Kansas City by Jan Goossens. In fact, he hails from the same hometown in Holland that produced Jan Goossens. And when the Tony Wermans, not to put him down too much, but obviously not one of their big guns, when guys like that start knocking them in the net, you've got a problem defensively.
Well, you know, we talk about possession, we talk about, I don't know, the ball going either end. Very quiet Orange Army right now, and understandably so. But our defense right now is just giving them far too many chances indeed. And there's Mickey Thomas and Mike Stankovic. Let's hope the guys have regrouped a little bit and they can tighten up this defense, because 4 goals in any game, let alone in the first 20 minutes of one, is really not something that you can build from as a rule.
Still in the opening moments of the second quarter. 13:35 left to play in the first half. KC leads it 4-0. Other action, Cleveland-Baltimore, a couple of Eastern Division rivals. They've now moved into the third period of play. But not exactly what I was surprised to find out about Gettemier, but it'll do. Mickey right there, and Gettemier with the foot save. And now Mickey will track it down, and the Wings will try it again. Back to Ziggy. What I was going to mention about Gettemier, he has a rather extensive television production background. Does a lot of freelance TV work in Kansas City and plans to make that his career after his playing days are over. So he may be directing our games out of here one of these days. The 5th foul on Kansas City, but it comes with 55 seconds left, so it may not be a factor. We'll see. Although a power play would certainly help at this point for the Wings.
If you want somebody with the ball right now, it's Eric Rasmussen, either trying to score the goal, of course, but a big one, maybe getting that last foul, which could be a key to starting the second half off if they could get the 2-minute penalty.
That's the game clock for you, lower right-hand corner. Time remaining in the opening half. Stankovic overran the ball just a bit. Kevin Cooley in there right to help out. Right in there to help out. Wings will try to get something going. Stankovic went down trying to draw that 6th foul, but no whistle. Gettemier heads it away. Oh, ball right through the crease. Terry Rowe now wearing number 11. That's Dale Irvine's jersey, but that was Terry Rowe on the shot. Cooley let one fly. Finally a goal with 4 seconds left in the half. Mickey Thomas finally got the Wings on the board. What do you know?
Well, I think they've been threatening now for the last 5 minutes. They've still looked poor defensively, but this is a great time to get a goal. I know it's 4-1, but the Wings were pressing a lot and fully deserved that goal as Mickey took advantage of Gettemier powering the ball down. I don't know. I think it's Terry Rowe who had the shot. Let's watch again. Actually, it's Kevin Cooley. Blast one. Gettemier can't hold on to it. Thomas Johnny on the spot puts the ball into the roof on net. 4-1 with 4 seconds to go in the first half. Here we go from another angle. There you see Mickey. He just digs it out of there and puts it over Ed Gettemier. Just hadn't got up off the floor after saving the first shot from Cooley. So it's, it's a great goal for the Wings as the game runs out in this first half. Maybe we're going to see a big turnaround in the second.
Well, I feel a lot better about it now than I did about 4 seconds ago. Mickey Thomas with the goal, his 6th of the season, and the Wings have a spark to take with them into the halftime locker room. Our score at the half, Kansas City 4, the Wings 1. Back to talk it over. Also, Dave Hoggan, feature on him on our halftime report. All that's still to come, so keep it right here. Mark Allen and Roy Turner welcoming you back to Kemper Arena in Kansas City, where the halftime score is the Comets leading the Wings by a count of 4-1. And Roy, I can't mention like the proverbial guy who says, I've got good news and I've got bad news. And people usually say, well, give me the good news first. The good news, Mickey Thomas, the goal with 4 seconds left in the opening half to give the Wings a little bit of hope here as we prepare for the second half. But the bad news, where do you start?
Well, I think you have to start looking at this Wings defense. I think it's been very vulnerable. There's been a lot of individual errors. You know, Ziggy might be blamed for a couple, but all over, our defensive awareness, our defensive alertness has just been pathetic so far. I'm sorry it's that strong, but let's be honest, and offensively we look real sharp. I mean, eventually we got a reward for that offensive threat every time we went down the field.
Charlie decided he wanted to pack it in more tonight and play conservatively on defense. Was it the wrong game plan or just poor execution?
Oh, I've got to say poor execution. Any system is going to work. I don't care what it is, so long as everybody carries it out. We certainly did not carry out. We did not think about defense until maybe 2 seconds too late. 2 seconds in this game, they can score a goal like that. Anybody can. So I think we've got to be more aware. Don't blame the system. Blame the people carrying it out.
Okay, and just to reinforce that point now, let's recap the scoring in the opening quarter. Kansas City jumped on the board very early in the game. In fact, they scored their first goal just a minute 54 into the contest. Haramina from Katsoukas.
And what just a terrible clearance from Gene Woolrich. There was no danger. He had full control. He brought it down. And eventually you're going to see this ball go in the net as Haramina hits the far corner. But Gene Woolrich, that's a defensive error. No, nothing else. Kansas City, though, give them credit.
And Haramina and Katsoukas was not before Kia punched one in on the assist from Jan Goosens to make it 2-0 KC.
This is a good turn from a very strong Jan Goosens, but Kevin Cooley getting one of the rare blocks in the half, but it bounces to young Kia, small player, but not big in stature as he puts the ball into the net for Kansas City second.
Kia with only those size 6 shoes, but he got enough leather on that one to make it 2-0 KC, and then it was the second time around for Haramina from Katsoukas to make it 3-0 Kansas City, still in the first quarter. Kansas City jumping off to a big lead here in the opening quarter. Hopefully we'll have that goal for you in a second. But again, the point, here it comes. The point, the Wings have just had real problems this year, falling behind in the first quarter.
Right at the start of that play, you saw the first mistake. Juan Carlos Molina cannot be caught the wrong side of a blue shirt. Hiramini eventually gets the ball as it hit the glass, and in an attempt to protect his head, I'm afraid Ziggy let it bounce off him and into the goal. But the original mistake, it was an error again from Juan Carlos that time, allowing Haramina from Katsoukas, but the Comets third.
So it was 3-0 Kansas City at the end of the opening period. Then we went into second quarter action, and just a minute 25 into the second, Wehrman, only his third goal of the season. Schiraldi the assist.
Well, you saw like a 3 Wings players, Ziggy, Mike, and Kevin, all closing in on a blue-shirted player. if that ball's going to come out there and go to a Kansas City Comet, it can only be one thing, and that was the end result, Werman getting his 3rd goal of the season. But once again, I think defensive misunderstanding, maybe a little lack of confidence in going after the ball the way it really should. That's what this kind of record does to your game, I'm afraid, though, Mark.
So 4-0 Kansas City at that point. Some of the wind going out of the wing sails at that point, but they hung in there, played pretty much even up for much of the second quarter. The effort was still there, and finally it paid off with, fortunately, only 4 seconds left to play in the second quarter.
As a rule, a coach can always maybe teach a little defense and get the guys to perform. The one thing you can't do is maybe tell the guys how to put the ball in the net. I don't think we've had a lot of trouble attacking-wise besides actually getting the score on the board. Defensively, though, right now, they've got to be tightened up in order to come back in this game because they are still very capable of it. As Kansas City look vulnerable as much as we do.
Okay, once again, it was Mickey Thomas on the late goal. Here it is one more time. Kevin Cooley, the original shot, and he'll get the assist.
Kevin hits the ball, Gettemier, as you'll see, fails to hold on to it and stays on the ground. There it is. It bounces out. Gettemier is still on the ground. Mickey then gets the ball over Ed Gettemier into the roof of the net with just 4 seconds left. Kansas City at that time had 5 fouls, a little bit tentative in their tackles, and the Wings able to take advantage through Mickey Thomas.
Okay, so the Wings, if nothing else, are on the board. They trail it, though, 4-1. We'll be back after this timeout with our halftime report, so keep it right here.
Scoring output has been down this season, but one player is doing better than ever. Cake's Greg Rittman shows us who he is and how he's doing.
For Dave Hoggan, it seems things couldn't be going better. Coach Charlie Cook is happy, Dave is pleased, but 5 years ago, things were different. Like there was his coach after his early days indoors.
He came in and says, right, and everybody played today. Did everybody feel good? And I went, Coach, I never played today. He went, oh, I forgot all about you. I went, oh, no.
That's not the case these days. Dave Hoggan, or Hoggy as his mates call him, is having a career year. They have to have him in the lineup. 19 goals and 9 assists are very important. Like the rest of these players, Dave started off playing the outdoor game, but now he says he's indoors where he belongs.
Everything is suited to me. They're running up and down the field, the 2-minute shifts. It's physical.
That's one of his things. I think it's one of his strengths. He's got the goal knack, and that's a hard thing for the player to have. And like Eric's got the same thing. He can score goals mostly at any time in the game, and Helge's got the same ability to do that.
Dave is 26 years old. He's from Falkirk, Scotland. This is his second full season with the Wings. Much of his time has been spent playing midfield, but now he's definitely a forward. Right, Dave?
When you score goals, you're up front. And if you don't score goals, everybody will turn around and say, Hoggy, go back to midfield. So right now I'm up front.
Hoggy and Tricky Mickey are the Wings' partners in crime. They're always laughing and joking and usually getting into some kind of trouble. But for Dave, it's just part of the game.
Off the field, it carries on the field. And I don't know, if you're not having fun on the field, then there's no point in going on there. Like, you can't go on like face like that all the time. You go crazy.
We have some great fun. I've got a vast amount of stories I could tell you, but not for TV, I'm afraid. When this tape's finished, I'll tell you.
Sounds interesting. And better get going now. That's most of the Dave Hoggan story. Greg Rittman, Cake Sports.
Well, we'll see how Hoggy does in the second half tonight if he can give the Wings a lift. But first, we'll...
Wings with nearly twice as many shots on goal so far in the game. Kansas City, Roy, had only 2 in the second quarter.
Wings getting a lot of pressure on this Kansas City team. And I think offensively, as I said earlier, I don't see a lot of problems other than getting the ball in the net a few more times. Defensively, we're having a lot of problems. If we can tighten that up, we can still make a game of this.
And our game is underway as the Wings kick it off to begin the third period of play. Once again, KC leads it 4-1 as we begin play here in the third quarter. Hagen goes right in. How about that? Mickey, his second goal of the game. We were talking off the air. Wouldn't it be nice if the Wings could get a quick one here? Is that quick enough for you?
You got it. Keep it on Channel 10, folks. This game is wide open again. We talk about what goes on in the head, and right now the Wings are lifted. Hagen making a beautiful move, hitting it to Thomas to get his second of the night right in front of the crease as the Wings have cut it down to 2 goals. The Orange Army up in the stands. You saw, watch again. Hagen, he's coming on. That's Gino Schiraldi. Fakes once, fakes twice, ducks to the inside, beats the other player, Goosens, puts it across to Mickey Thomas on his left foot. We all know what his left foot can do, and he did just that as he got the Wings one back.
At the other end, though, Wings had to be alert as Kansas City nearly booted one in. But the time of that goal, 10 seconds into the third quarter. The Wings. What a surprise they didn't go to Barron. Kevin Cooley coming from the back. Wins it for the Wichita Wings. Mickey Thomas. Pass over to Mike Stankovic. Mickey Thomas with the hat trick, and the Wings are right back in it. 4-3. Can you believe Mickey Thomas?
Well, what a great play. This is the way the game's supposed to be played. The ball broke down. Kevin Cooley, I think, you look at those Orange fans. I hope you're as happy at home as we are, but right here in Kansas City, Mickey Thomas, 3 goals tonight. Let's see if we can see this one again. You're going to see all the keys to making the team successful. Stankovic got a shot. He saw Mickey open on the far side, and once again with that left foot, it's lethal tonight as he gets his third of the night. The goal was set up by Kevin Cooley, by the way, who broke up defensively, then overlapped to Mickey's right, enabling Mike some space, who can also make space for Mickey Thomas, who wrong-foots Gettemier to make this game 4-3. We're on our way back. Look out!
Mickey Thomas, the hat trick. Boy, that was nearly dangerous. Well, we're looking at Mickey Thomas. We had action out of the field. We almost had a tie soccer game, but it is now 4-3. Kansas City, and the Wings push it again. Eric Rasmussen with room on the left wing. Schiraldi all over him. Eric trying to pull the trigger. He does, and Juan Molina directs it wide, though. And that's going to be a foul on Eric. That's 5 on the Wings with 5:25 left in the quarter. That fell off the last 39 seconds here. They play it ahead, looking for Curlin. He heads it, looking for Stankovic. Now to Curlin. The Wings with some short-handed ideas. Curlin played off the ball, but no call.
Defenders rushing up the field for Kansas City. They're going to get one more shot at it. Mickey Thomas comes out, and let's see what happens. 17 seconds to go.
Boy, if the Wings could kill this off, how big would that be? But let's not count our chickens, and as I say it, Kia, his second goal tonight with only 9 seconds left in the power play.
That's when you're most vulnerable, but don't forget, we got 2 goals in 14 seconds, so this game is still well within our reach, but it would have really added to the cause if we could have killed this penalty off. But the team is most vulnerable because they've done all kinds of running to defend against it. Keir there, quick little toe on the ball. He's only got size 6s, as Mark alluded to earlier, but he got it around that one to put it by Ziggy. Good goal for Kansas City, and the Wings give up a power play goal to make the score 5-3.
Kia has really been hot of late. 7 points in his last 5 games. Coming into this one, as you look at Dave Clements, who has now shaved the beard. And this game not quite such a close shave anymore, as Kansas City now leads at 5-3 on Kia's second goal of the game, his 11th of the season. Dale Mitchell getting the assist on that one. And now the Wings will again try to pull within 1. Stankovic trying to work his way around Katsukis. Just nicked the glass and went up in the seats with 51 seconds left in the third quarter of what is thankfully turned into a pretty good soccer game.
It has, and you know, as he said, there's Gettemier right now trying to take the steam out of this Wings team as they're still coming flying in spite of that goal. Mike Stankovic took a shot from a long way out there, Mark, and the rest of the Wings players kind of looked at him, but they also know he's very capable to score from there. We've seen so many times in this young season.
Interesting you would use the word steam in reference to Gettemier. Of course, he played in St. Louis for many years as a backup to Slobo Ilievsky, regarded as one of the better backups in the league for quite some time, and much like Matt Kennedy now finally getting an opportunity as a starter, as Alan Mayer has gotten less and less playing time for Kansas City as the season has gone along. Now, Eric Rasmussen, point-blank shot. Gettemier the save. Hit him right in the midsection. But Eric really cranked it. Charlie Green took a tumble. De Brito, look at that move behind the back. Mickey back to Pedro. 20 seconds left in the quarter.
Right now we have the line that's trying to organize everybody out there. Mark Evans, first time in the game. You saw the shirt being pulled right time from Dale Mitchell. Free kick, 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Wichita now needs to come forward, try and get one more shot in the period.
That foul only the third on KC, so that won't be of consequence. Eric Rasmussen hurtling over Gettemier, who may have shaken himself up a little bit, may have a cramp. As time expires here in the third period, he'll have a couple of minutes to work it out. Our score after 3, Kansas City 5, the Wings 3. Back with the fourth and final period after this time. Not too sure-handed on the save, but he made the save.
You still wonder how Eric possibly gets them shots off. He's had so many good ones tonight. Surely he's going to be rewarded sooner or later.
Hopefully sooner. As Kansas City's on the attack. Kia! Another hat trick. Mickey Thomas had one earlier. And maybe the only player on the field smaller than Mickey has a hat trick of his own. Third goal of the night for Kia. His first career hat trick. Here's goal number 3.
An absolute misplay by Kansas City. Look at Jan Goosen's hands right now. They're on the side of his head. What's this? Kasukas will play the ball to him. Goosen's close to play the ball the other end. He miscontrols it, and it goes to Kia. Little wonder Ziggy couldn't read it. Goosen is just, you might see at the top. Look at him with his hands on his head at the bottom of his screen. He'll take the assist, but that was just a fluke assist. But Kia was right on the spot to put the chance away. 6-3. The Wings need to get a one early.
Well, look at this.
8 minutes to go in the game. Mike Stankiewicz has got the silver shirt on. That means the Wings have pulled the goalkeeper in order to try and get back in this contest. It's a long time, and it's a gutsy move, and let's hope it's successful.
Wow, Charlie Cook, that riverboat gambler. There's Stankiewicz. And Zigante has been pulled with 7:59 left in the game, but down 3. Charlie's going to roll the dice.
Right now, we have a special team of the Comets. They've practiced on this. It's been a big part of the MISL season so far, 6 attacker goals. In fact, Baltimore did it for all of one quarter one time. We're not successful, but it shows you how much confidence coaches around the league have. There's Ziggy. Whether he'll come back or not depends on how successful these people are on the floor right now as they try desperately to catch these last 3 goals up with 8 minutes to go.
And how will Kansas City handle the pressure? We're about to find out. Stankiewicz over to Eric Rasmussen. A calculated risk by Charlie Cook.
The Wings need to be successful early on this in order to make this Kansas City team a little bit more nervous. They've got 3 goals right now.
Oh, Mickey Thomas trying to hit Terry Rowe in front. Couldn't quite make the connection. Again, Mickey right wing. Same thing this time. Gettemier latches on, and Stankiewicz retreats and knocks it down for the Wings, and here they come again. Eric Rasmussen and a goal, and it's 6-4.
That'll get your attention in a hurry, folks. There's still 7:15 to go, and I hate to say I told you so, but he's looked like he's going to be doing it each and every time he gets the ball. It's Barry Wallace this time. He knows everything he's going to do, but can't stop. That ball ducked like a knuckleball, like a pitcher's knuckleball. As it ducked underneath the red bar of the Wings, 6-4. And Mike Stankiewicz is leaving that in while we watch the replay. Watch Eric. Little move. Just a little. This ball ducks underneath the bar. Great goal from Eric. He's been threatening all night. Let's see how many more he can get with 7:15 to go. Free kick in. There's a man who's causing fits to Kansas City right now and entertaining all you fans at home, I hope. Eric, he's already scored 1. Looks likely to score each and every time he gets the ball as he plays the ball back to Mike Stankiewicz, the substitute goalkeeper.
Boy, the Wings have been all over the goal. They need to get to the back of the net. That's the idea. Look out here. Oh, it hit off the crossbar. Dale Mitchell nearly had the backbreaker. Good block for Eric. Oh, the Wings need to get back, though, defensively. Bonchek. That open net is so tantalizing. Stankiewicz finally controls it for the Wings with 3 minutes to play.
Well, like you viewers, I'm sure, I thought that ball was in. Maybe it's a kind of break the Wings need if they're to win this game. Obviously, they didn't need to give one up at that point in this juncture.
Boy, Mitchell had a good long look at it, curved it in there beautifully, and just didn't count on that bounce. 2:40 to play. KC leads it 6-4. Oh, and Gettemier. Big save. Looking for the follow. Curlin trying to pound it off the boards. Still trying to clear it out. Wilrich in there trying to lend a hand, but look out here. Mitchell on the run. Bonchek with an open net. Oh, no, and it's 7-4.
I'm afraid Mark Curlin lost the ball against the boards. On this Wings team have put so much into it coming back tonight. It's just a shame to see that ball. There you see Eric talk about disappointment. He couldn't do any more than he's done tonight. They lost the ball. I'm sure we'll see it again. There he is, Mark Kern right now. He gets the ball out. Referee gets in his way a little bit. But then he loses control, and away they go down the other end. Mitchell, he looks up very quickly. There's Bonchek. He's going to slide it to him. He gets Mike Stankovic coming across his front and has the easy task of tapping the ball into the open net as Mike comes out to try and stop him. 7-4 with 2:22. Makes it very difficult, but as I said, who knows? We got 2 in 14 seconds, so at that ratio, there's still a lot of goals out there for the Wings. As Charlie looks at, well, he knows the kind of effort this sixth attacker has put forth, and well, I think they deserve better, but it's always an easy task, of course, when you pick the ball up offensively when there's nobody in that net.
Well, it's not over. Let's make that point. 2:22 left to play, although Kansas City now leads it again by 3, 7-4 for Bonchek, his 5th goal of this season. Mitchell assisting. Time of the goal, 12:38. But Charlie Cook, he gave us some excitement here in the 4th quarter, pulling the keeper with 7:59 to play in the 4th and final period.
Well, Charlie is just telling the lads to keep going, you know. There's Mickey telling me, I've done it once. I've already scored 2 in 14 seconds. I only need 28, and I'll get 4, and we'll win this game. So, you know, there's the Orange Army. They're, as usual, keep on applauding the guys, keep on egging them on. You know, we need to go maybe in the next 10 or 15 seconds, and Kansas City will once again be back on the knees. Right now, though, the Comets full of confidence, Mark, with this 3-goal lead.
And if you're wondering, yes, the Wings are still 6th attacker. Stankovic remaining out there in the silver goalkeeper's top. There he is. And now something had come out on the field, so once again they have to clear that away, and we're just about ready to go here. It'll be Wings on the kickoff, and we're underway once again with 2:20 left to play in the game. The Wings could do with a quick one right here. Still 6th attacker. Eric back to Mickey. Terry Rowe was camped out along the boards. Did a nice job kind of hiding there, hugging the boards. KC defense really not aware he was there. That one will tip off Goosen, so it'll be Wings on the kick-in.
You really don't need to see Gettemier with the ball full control in his hands right now, because that's going to start off a great attacking chance for Kansas City. But the Wings lucky in that occasion as the ball bounced out of bounds, setting up this thrust with 1:52 to go on the clock.
Mickey Thomas still working hard in the corner. Gettemier well out of the box. And that foul is going to go on Terry Rowe, I guess, as he tumbled on top of Gettemier. That's 3 on the wing.
I don't think it'll be a factor, but Terry actually just jumped on Gettemier on his back. I think he was trying to stop him getting that ball that I talked about earlier.
Yep.
Stop to get that quick distribution. This time he throws the ball the length of the field to see Gene Woolrich. Terry Rowe, of course. Look for number 15 in your screen, folks. He's going to be right back there somewhere. He's the one who looks like he could open this game up anytime he gets the ball. 15, of course, is Eric Rasmussen.
Hagen out there as well. He bears watching. Terry Rowe. Oh, an opportunity for Hagen in front, and it's cleared out of there by Kansas City. Eric still with it, bearing in, and Gettemier is down.
I hate to suggest theatrics, but there's 1:13 left in the clock. Let's see what happens here. Mike Stankovic will play the ball around the side, but Eric's not. So Woolrich first time into Terry. Does a good move.
Ooh.
And,
I don't popped in the face a little bit there by Rowe.
Yeah, I think he's waiting. Well, far be it from me to say he's looking for a little applause, but the 7-4 up and there's 1:13 left to go in this contest. Oh, would you believe he's going to be okay and he's going to play on here. Surprise, surprise.
Of those 23 saves, 11 this quarter for Ed Gettemier. There's Alan Mayer loosening up just in case.
Laughing. He knows exactly probably what's happening. And,
well, you know, Gettemier played behind Slobo all those years. You're bound to pick up a trick or two.
That's very
Not
true.
meaning to imply anything, of course. I have to be careful what I say anymore. I've been digging myself in deep here lately.
That.
Well, that's why I mentioned it.
Well, the Wings are going to get possession on the far side. Eric Rasmussen right now, dead ball. Let's see if the Wings can get one and give it a close finish with 1:13 to go in this contest.
be Eric on the restart, the trainer off the field, and we're set to go here. Gettemier remains in the game. Eric to Wilrich, who kind of hit the right footer. Gene trying to sneak it inside the post and could not. Ian Frazier trying to run it down. Ball loose in front. Finally grabbed by Ed Gettemier. We're inside the final minute now. Long distribution by Gettemier, looking for Goosens. Instead, it ends up on the foot of Mike Stankovic. And now the Wings will hope for the miracle with 45 seconds to play. Eric, Terry Rowe in the corner. Centering pass. Mickey unable to pull the trigger as we get the whistle and the foul.
In the box, so therefore it's brought outside because it's not a direct kick, which would have resulted in a penalty kick. But 34 seconds to go. Eric on the ball. Hagen at the top of the screen. You can't quite see him. He looks to be the open man as Stankovic is marked on this near side.
Fifth foul on KC. Knocked out of there by Schiraldi. Burning only 1 second on the clock. It's going to be Eric Rasmussen again on the restart. 32 seconds left in the game. Stick around following the game. We'll name our Budweiser player of the game. 30 seconds left in the game. Ball cleared out of there. Barry Wallace trying to run it down. But Stankovic got there first. Uh-oh, look out here. Bonchek, who had the empty netter, nearly had another one. Hagen will bring it the other way for the Wichita Wings with 15 seconds left in the game. Wilrich over to Terry Rowe. In front, Eric. Couldn't quite.
That's a foul. That's number 6.
And down Eric goes, and it is indeed the 6th foul on Kansas City, but it comes with only 5 seconds left in the game, so the Wings will finish the game with a very short-lived power play.
Well, it's going to be set up, and Eric's on the ball. Goosens looking at his goalkeeper now. Goosens is going to man to sit out these last 5 seconds, although Dale Mitchell's gone instead, so Goosens looking to the bench exactly what to do, but Eric holding, he's really tired. He's put so much into these last 8 minutes when we didn't have the goalkeeper, and he's going to set up somebody for this last shot to try and make this game closer. I'm afraid it's all come to naught with regard to the final won and losses, but let's see how close the Wings can get it. They tried desperately to get one more goal with 5 to go.
Eric Rasmussen lets it fly. Hagen tried to knock one in, and it's over. The ball is over the glass, and the game's over as well. Our final score, Kansas City 7, the Wings 4 with the victory. Kansas City goes to 11-14 on the season, and they will hang on to 4th place. The Wings fall to 10-16, and need we say 0-13 on the road. They made it interesting in the second half, though, Roy.
Yes, they did, and, you know, the game's made up of 60 minutes, but the last 30 minutes I thought the Wings performed very well indeed. But as I said, you've got to play the full game to get results, and they dug themselves a hole early in the contest, Mark, and in spite of all the effort, we're never quite able to come back.
All right, we'll take a timeout, back to wrap it up right after this. Kansas City defeating the Wings by a final of 7-4, and another one of those Jekyll and Hyde performances for the Wichita Wings. I guess the question, where were the Wings we saw in the second half and the first half?
Well, I think where was the defense, Mark, and I think the name of the game is the quality in the MISL now is too great for you to start giving goals away, and I think we can count 3 in our hand right now as to what we actually gave away to this high-flying Comet team, and so therefore it made it an uphill battle all evening, and the end result, in spite of a good offensive showing in the second half, a defeat 7-4, but we were in charge tonight, and we gave it away.
We made the point earlier in the telecast that coming into this game for this season, the Wings were 0-9 on the road in games in which they trailed after the opening quarter, and that stat just really jumps out at you, and that's why the defensive effort we saw in the first quarter was so surprising to me.
You know, you talk about nervousness and everything else. Yes, there's a lot of things going on in the field, but Gene Wilrich giving the ball away within a minute of the game starting right to a blue shirt right in front of the goal. You can go and fight all night, as Eric has done, to try and get a goal. He's been kicked and chopped and everything. and then at the other end of the field, we give them goals. It's hard to overcome, especially in a strange arena, and, you know, we love the Kansas Coliseum. It can overcome a lot, but on the road, it's tough.
Of course, it really looked bleak early in the second quarter when Kansas City went on top 4-0, but that's when this guy got busy. Let's bring in Mickey Thomas right now. Mickey, I know it hurts to lose again on the road, but a great individual performance for you tonight to get the Wings back in the game.
I'm disappointed, to be truthful. We give too many sloppy goals away at the beginning. It was an uphill struggle from the start, really. We can't afford to do that on the road because a home team gets confidence and it's an uphill battle. We got back in the game and then we give another silly goal away and they pulled away again. It's all down to bad mistakes, and that's what's costing us the wins on the road at the moment.
Okay, Mickey, let's take a look at your 3 goals tonight. Of course, you had the hat trick, including a club record 2 goals within 14 seconds of each other, but here's the first one.
Well, it's the second one, actually. David does well just to find me in the box. A good run by Dave, and I just got to tap it in, actually. It's quite simple for me to do that because David's he's made all the hard work, and I've just got to tap it in.
So that was, I guess, Mickey's second goal of the game, and here comes another one.
This is the third one. Played a 1-2 with Mike. He gives us a nice ball back and just put it in the top side of the corner, left-hand side there. Nice goal.
Your third goal pulled the Wings to within 4-3, but then you got the 6th foul. You nearly killed off the power play, but Kia knocks one in with only 9 seconds left in the power play.
I didn't think it was a foul on the 6th foul, to be truthful, but they punished us for it, and it became an uphill struggle again, and we couldn't get back in once they took that lead again.
How can you explain, or can you explain, the difference in the performance we saw in the first half as opposed to the second half?
We're just tightened up. I think we play a bit more professional. I think that's the main thing with us at the moment. We're not professional enough. We're giving silly goals away, and it's costing us dearly. We can pull it back in the Coliseum, but away from home we seem to go well behind, and we don't get back in the game at all. It's something that we can't do at the moment, and it's going to be a hard struggle to get it right, to be truthful.
I hate to ask you, but how does it feel now? 0-13 on the road. They're just getting worse all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought we did quite well to get back in the game, but there again, they deserved to win in the end. They punished us, and they took the goals, and we just couldn't get back in the game, as I said. We were disappointed.
Well, individually, Mickey Thomas did all he could tonight to get the Wings back in the game. Again, the hat trick. Congratulations, Mickey.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you very much for joining us. Now let's bring in Ed Gettemier, who had a fine performance tonight in goal for the Kansas City Comets. Ed, congratulations. Nice game.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was a good win for us. Wichita really fought hard. They gave us a good battle, but just feels good to win.
You had a slew of saves in the game, most of them in the fourth quarter. Charlie Cook going 6th attacker with almost 8 minutes left in the game.
Right. I was shaking in my boots about that time. I couldn't believe he pulled it that early. And we've been struggling a little bit in man-short situations as of late. So I tell you what, I was shaking in my boots about that time.
Let's take a look at a little bit of you in action here.
Yeah, that was a great play by Mickey to come in. I came out and smothered the ball. I was pretty lucky to hold that one.
We made the comment in the fourth quarter that this was a page almost out of your book. The last time, or Sunday in Cleveland, you were down 6-3, went 6th attacker, tied the game 6-6.
Right, same situation, and their goalkeeper was pretty hot that day. And so it's a toss of the luck, really. We come out and we struggle on the road as well, so we know what they feel like, and we wish them the best for the rest of the season.
Well, Ed Gettemier has been tough on the Wings this season at Kemper Arena, and he was again tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Ed Gettemier, Comets goalkeeper. We'll send it away. We'll be back one more time, though, to name our Budweiser player of the game right after this timeout. With you one last time here at Kemper Arena in Kansas City. Again, our final, the Comets defeating the Wings tonight by a final of 7-4, and let's tell you quite obviously tonight, I think, our Budweiser player of the game, Mickey Thomas. Just when things were looking bleak, Wings trailing 4-0, Mickey Thomas took it on his shoulders, with help, of course, to score 3 unanswered goals and get the Wings right back into this game.
And here's that third one of those goals right now. He played it, first of all, he played the ball to Stankovic. Stankovic saw him coming in again and said, hey, Thomas is hot right now. Why don't I give it back to him? And Mickey provided the finishing touches. He got Gettemier going the right way, hitting the ball with the inside of his foot, placing it perfectly to for the third goal. And at that time, everybody excited, but it wasn't to be.
And Mickey and the Wings certainly made things interesting in the second half. Charlie Cook in particular, pulling the keeper with 7:59 left to play in the game. I still think it was the thing to do.
Oh, I totally agree, Mark. You know, we'd had trouble all night in getting goals, although we got 2 in 14 seconds, thanks to Mickey. But it, you know, it's what the heck? You're in a strange ground. You need to get the momentum, and that's one way of certainly getting it when you pull the goalkeeper. We were lucky early, but that was the only luck we had when we pulled him, in spite of some wonderful opportunities, some notably from Erik Rasmussen. He looked just superb as we pulled the keeper, and he did get the one goal for us, but many of the chances were created by this wonderful, skillful player, Erik.
Erik Rasmussen, some exciting plays tonight. Mickey Thomas, the 3 goals. Mike Stankovic, I thought, played very well, but again, the Wings come up short on the road. Sooner or later, that has just got to change, or the Wings aren't going to make the playoffs for the first time in their history. I think that's becoming very clear.
It is. It's a great concern, I'm sure, to the viewers, to yourself, to myself, to everybody in Wichita, and something really has to change. Because this is a fine team. As our 10-3 record would just, everybody will tell you what a great team we are in Wichita, and I hope we are that same team on Friday night. Let's get tonight's game out of our minds as soon as possible, although right now our emotions are affected just by this very game.
Well, maybe that is the silver lining, because the next game for you will be another home game. Remember, the Minnesota Strikers come in Friday night for a game at the Kansas Coliseum. They feature all-star David Byrne and one of the really high-scoring offenses right now in the league.
Yeah, they are, and they're certainly hot, and they're getting close to being first in the East, and we need all the help we can get. That includes you people out there, of course, that make it so great for our team to play at home. And we got to keep the home record going while we're trying to get this sorting out, this road record, which is evident again tonight. Not quite the same team, specifically in the first half tonight, as we are at home.
And need we mention, Tino Lettieri will be in goal for Minnesota. Wings fans always love to see him. Kind of surprised he didn't make the All-Star team.
So am I. Maybe it's those parrots he's got all over his pants, and the Wings will get, you fans will see some pants you've never seen the likes of in the Kansas Coliseum Friday night. Get out and support the team, and thanks again to all of you. It'll happen, I promise you.
Okay, and thanks again for tuning in tonight. For Roy Turner, everybody on the crew, Mark Allen saying good night from Kemper. Wings lose at 7-4. We'll see you next time.